The Taklamakan Desert. The name itself whispers of danger, of a place one enters but may never leave. Located in the vast Tarim Basin in Xinjiang, China, it is one of the world's largest and most formidable sandy deserts. Its shifting dunes, some towering hundreds of feet high, stretch as far as the eye can see, a seemingly endless ocean of sand. For centuries, this immense wilderness has been a place of mystery and awe. Travelers on the ancient Silk Road spoke of its perils, of strange sounds carried on the wind, and of the ghosts of those who had perished within its unforgiving embrace. It is a landscape that challenges human endurance to its very limits, a place where water is more precious than gold, and survival is a daily struggle against the elements. Yet beneath this harsh and seemingly barren surface, the Taklamakan holds incredible secrets. It is a vast, natural museum, a place where time seems to have stood still. The extreme aridity, the very thing that makes the desert so inhospitable, has also acted as an extraordinary preservative. Over millennia, it has gently cradled ancient cities, forgotten settlements, and the remains of people who once thrived in this now desolate region. These are not just faint traces, but remarkably intact relics of lost civilizations, offering us a unique window into a distant past. The dry air has mummified bodies, preserved delicate fabrics, and kept wooden structures from decay, waiting for explorers to uncover their stories. The allure of the Taklamakan lies not just in its stark beauty, but in the profound historical mysteries it conceals. Imagine caravans laden with silk, spices, and precious goods journeying across these sands, linking east and west. Imagine bustling towns and oases, vibrant with life, now buried deep beneath the dunes. The desert guards these secrets jealously, revealing them only sporadically, often through the chance discoveries of explorers or the relentless work of archaeologists. Each find, however small, adds another piece to the grand puzzle of human history in this remote corner of the world, reminding us of the rise and fall of empires and the resilience of life in even the most challenging environments. For modern adventurers and scholars, the Taklamakan remains a potent symbol of discovery. It is a place where legends meet reality, where ancient texts hint at forgotten kingdoms, and where the earth itself yields tangible proof of sophisticated societies that flourished long ago. The very air seems thick with untold stories, with the whispers of languages no longer spoken, and the silent testimonies of those who lived, loved, and ultimately vanished into the sands. The desert's vastness suggests that what has been found so far is merely a fraction of what still lies hidden, promising future generations even more incredible revelations about our shared human heritage. Among the most evocative names linked to the Taklamakan's lost civilizations is Lulan. This ancient kingdom, once a vital oasis stop on the famed Silk Road, thrived for centuries at the northwestern edge of灬ryog̃, a now dried salt lake. Lulan was a crucial hub, a meeting point for traders, soldiers, monks, and travelers journeying between China and the West. Imagine the vibrant scenes: camels resting after long desert treks, merchants haggling over goods from distant lands, and different cultures intermingling in its busy streets. Its strategic location made it a coveted prize, a center of commerce and cultural exchange in a challenging arid world. The story of Lulan's rediscovery is as fascinating as its history. For centuries it was little more than a legend, a name mentioned in ancient Chinese texts. Then, in the early 20th century, explorers like Sven Hedin, a Swedish geographer, ventured into the treacherous Taklamakan. Guided by local knowledge and incredible perseverance, Hedin stumbled upon the ruins of a substantial ancient city. He found remnants of houses, fortifications, and even a Buddhist stupa, all remarkably preserved by the dry desert air. This was Lulan, brought back from the silence of the sands, confirming that the legends were indeed true. Archaeological excavations that followed Hedin's discovery unearthed a wealth of artifacts that painted a vivid picture of life in Lulan. They found coins, pottery, tools, and most strikingly, documents written on wooden slips and paper. These texts, penned in various scripts including Kharosthi, an ancient Indian script, revealed details about the city's administration, its trade connections, and the daily concerns of its inhabitants. Lulan was clearly a sophisticated and well-organized society, deeply integrated into the vast network of the Silk Road. It was a cosmopolitan center where different influences from China, India, Central Asia, and even further west converged. Yet Lulan also presented profound mysteries. Why did this prosperous kingdom eventually disappear? The texts offered clues but no definitive answers. Around the 4th century AD, Lulan seems to have been abandoned, its vibrant life extinguished, and its structures gradually swallowed by the encroaching desert. The shifting course of the Tarim River, on which Lulan depended for its water supply, is often cited as a primary reason for its decline. As the river changed, the oasis dried up, making life unsustainable. The desert claimed what was once a thriving human settlement, leaving behind only enigmatic ruins and the silent stories of its people. Perhaps the most startling discoveries to emerge from the Taklamakan sands are the incredibly well-preserved mummies. These are not the elaborately embalmed mummies of ancient Egypt, but individuals naturally desiccated by the desert's extreme dryness and salty soil. Their skin, hair, and even clothing have often survived for thousands of years, offering an astonishingly intimate glimpse of people from a bygone era. One of the most famous of these is the beauty of Lulan, a woman who lived around 3,800 years ago, long before Lulan city itself rose to prominence on the Silk Road. The beauty of Lulan, discovered in 1980, captivated the world. She lay peacefully, her features remarkably intact, with long light brown hair, high cheekbones, and a distinctive, almost European appearance. She was dressed in woolen garments and wore simple leather shoes. Her serene face, preserved for nearly 4 millennia, seemed to bridge the vast gap of time, making her ancient world feel suddenly very close. Her appearance was a surprise because it challenged existing notions about the early inhabitants of this region, suggesting a complex tapestry of migrations and interactions long before the historical Silk Road. The Lulan beauty was not an isolated find. Numerous other mummies, some even older, have been unearthed across the Tarim Basin, many exhibiting similar Caucasoid features, tall stature, fair or reddish hair, and distinct facial structures. These discoveries sparked intense debate and research into the origins of these people. Genetic studies have since revealed a fascinating story of mixed ancestry, with links to populations from Siberia, the Iranian Plateau, and Europe. It appears the Tarim Basin was a melting pot of diverse groups much earlier than previously imagined, a true crossroads of humanity. Beyond their striking appearance, the mummies also reveal sophisticated burial customs and a surprisingly advanced material culture for their time. They were often buried with personal belongings, intricately woven textiles, tools, pottery, and food offerings, indicating beliefs about an afterlife. The quality of their woolen fabrics, sometimes dyed in vibrant colors and woven into complex patterns, speaks of well-developed weaving technologies. These sleepers of the desert, as they are sometimes called, are not just preserved bodies. They are messengers from a lost world, telling us about the people who first mastered life in this challenging environment. Lulan is not the only ancient settlement to yield its secrets from beneath the Taklamakan sands. Further south along another branch of the Silk Road lies the site of Nia, once a thriving oasis town known in ancient times, possibly as Kadota. Like Lulan, Nia was abandoned centuries ago and gradually buried by the desert. Excavations there have been equally rewarding, revealing well-preserved wooden houses, orchards, and everyday objects, offering a remarkably detailed snapshot of life between the 3rd and 4th centuries AD. Walking through the excavated ruins of Nia feels like stepping back into a bustling community, frozen in time. One of the most significant finds at Nia, and other similar sites, has been the discovery of thousands of documents, primarily written on wooden slips. These were the everyday records of the people, legal contracts, official orders, personal letters, tax records, and even children's writing exercises. Most are written in the Gandhari language using the Kharosthi script, which originated in what is now Pakistan and Afghanistan. This shows the strong cultural influence from that region along this southern Silk Road route. These documents are, honestly, invaluable as they provide direct evidence of the administration, economy, and social life of these oasis kingdoms. Through these writings we learn about the concerns of ordinary people. We read about disputes over water rights, a critical resource in the desert. There are records of sales of land, animals, and even slaves. Letters reveal personal joys and sorrows, business dealings, and requests for assistance. We see a society governed by local rulers but also acknowledging the distant authority of larger empires. These documents paint a picture of a well-structured community with a sophisticated legal system and a vibrant agricultural economy based on irrigation. They tell us of vineyards, orchards, and fields of wheat and millet wrested from the desert's edge. Local legends often speak of these buried cities, sometimes attributing their demise to divine punishment or the wrath of desert spirits. Modern explorers and archaeologists, too, have reported strange experiences in the Taklamakan: unexplained lights, disorienting sounds, or an overwhelming sense of presence. While some of these can be attributed to the desert's extreme conditions and isolation, they add to the mystique of the region. Satellite imagery has also played a role, revealing subtle patterns in the sand that can indicate buried structures or ancient watercourses, guiding researchers to potential new sites of discovery. The question that haunts every discovery in the Taklamakan is, why did these once thriving civilizations disappear? What caused prosperous cities like Lulan and Nia to be abandoned, their people to scatter, and their memory to fade into legend? There isn't one single simple answer. Rather, it's likely a combination of factors that led to their decline. The most widely accepted theory points to environmental change, specifically desertification, and the shifting courses of the rivers that nourish these oasis settlements. The Tarim River and its tributaries are the lifeblood of the region, and their behavior is notoriously unpredictable. Gradual climate change, leading to increased aridity, would have put immense pressure on the fragile ecosystems of the oases. As glaciers in the surrounding mountains receded, the volume of meltwater feeding the rivers may have diminished. Rivers could have changed their courses, as the Tarim River is known to have done, leaving once fertile areas dry and uninhabitable. Without a reliable water supply for irrigation and drinking, agriculture would fail, and communities would be forced to migrate or perish. The relentless advance of the sand dunes, driven by prevailing winds, would have literally buried their homes and fields, making a return impossible. While environmental factors are compelling, other elements could have played a role. Warfare and political instability were common along the Silk Road, as various groups and empires vied for control of the lucrative trade routes. An invasion or a prolonged conflict could have devastated a city or disrupted the trade that was essential for its prosperity. Disease, too, could have swept through these concentrated populations, particularly in times of hardship when resources were scarce. Some scholars also suggest that changes in trade routes themselves, perhaps bypassing certain oases, could have led to their economic decline and eventual abandonment. The Taklamakan Desert, vast and inscrutable, has not yet yielded all its secrets. What we know is based on the sites that have been painstakingly excavated, but countless more likely lie hidden beneath the immense sea of sand. Each new discovery has the potential to rewrite our understanding of the early history of Central Asia, and the complex interactions of the people who lived there. The desert continues to whisper its ancient tales, inviting us to imagine what other wonders, what other lost cities and forgotten stories are still waiting for the patient spade of the archaeologist or the keen eye of the explorer to bring them back into the light. The sands of time hold many more chapters.